U3 exercise 18, enter a credit memo. Task 1, enter an invoice with variances. The following invoice arrived a week ago. To enter the invoice, use create supplier invoice. Good. Date, today's date, minus 7 days. Here. And the purchase order. Enter the invoice in accordance with the supplier specification and post it despite the differences. Override the system default value. So we are going to change this one. 52600 and 100 pieces. The tax. $860. The balance is okay, and the invoice will be blocked because quantity is greater than the good receipt and price too high. Good. Enter the number of the invoice blocked for payment. So post. And here is our number. Nope. So, task 2, enter a subsequent credit. In invoice from the task 1, the price used for the item 4 was too high. You informed the supplier about this. The supplier sent you the following credit memo because their company made the error. To enter the credit memo, use the create supplier invoice. So here we are talking about a subsequent credit because of the amount correction. The price reference, the date, and the purchase order. Good, we will see this later. Enter the credit memo. Why do you have to enter this credit memo as a subsequent credit? Because we are asking for a correction of the wrong invoice amount. If it was for a quantity, then we have a credit memo. But here, in this case, we have a subsequent credit. Okay, which item does the system propose, and what are the proposed quantity and values? So here, the system proposes all the items from the previous invoice, and the quantities are the invoiced quantity. So here, ordered 100, received 70, and invoiced 100. And it's the same for the other one. Ordered, received, invoiced. Okay. This credit memo is for the lantern ring. So it's this item. Item 4. Select the item that should be credited. Enter the amount into the item list and confirm your change. So here we are talking about €100 for 100 pieces, as in the invoice. We are going to check for the balance. It's okay. We're going to simulate, yes. simulate the account movement and filling the table, and then post the invoice and not the credit memo. So here we are going to check with this. We have the supplier account, the 100 credit memo for the lantern ring, and the input taxes. So we can post. Nope. So task 3, enter a credit memo this time. The supplier has discovered that the 30 spiral casing that have been already invoiced for the purchase can no longer be supplied. Therefore, the supplier sent a credit memo. To enter the credit memo, use the create supplier advanced or Miro here. We said a credit memo this time. The amount, the tax, reference, and purchase order. We do not need this. And here we see enter the credit memo. Which item does the system propose and what are the proposed quantity and values? The system proposes the invoiced quantity and amount, the total invoiced and received quantities. We are going to say that we don't need the item 20, 30, and 40 because the credit memo is for the slug for spiral casing, 30 pieces for 300 euro. So here, 30 pieces, 300. We are going to check the balance. We're good. And simulate, yes. Simulate the account movement and filling the table. And here we see that we have the supplier account, the good received for the 300 in the credit memo, and the input taxes. We can check the information here. Good. Post the credit memo, not the number, and don't leave the create supplier invoice app. So post, and here. So 3, display the credit memo and go to the PO history. How is the credit memo displayed in the PO history? So here, other document, this is the one, and in the PO history, here for the item 10, how the credit memo is displayed. Here we see it in a separate line and 30 euro minus. Okay, for the credit memo. The credit memo means that the blocking reason in the invoice is no longer valid. Does the system automatically delete the blocking reason when you post the credit memo? And the answer is no. The system will delete the blocking reason when we use the function automatic release invoices. Voila for this one. Good.